Maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm not, maybe I'm not.
Championship weekend was fun.
Hey.
I'm Joy Taylor. That's Brandon Newman.
Hola.
We usually like to introduce ourselves at the top.
Right.
Not exactly the outcome I was hoping for.
Yeah, none of us really.
Because I have no integrity as a journalist, and I root for people. I don't consider myself a journalist, so it doesn't matter. What?
I'm sorry, I had a flashback to last episode where you criticized me for being a fanboy in my picks. So I was
No.
I
I wasn't criticizing you about being a fanboy. I was criticizing you for disguising opinion with your desires.
I think we all do that.
I can give my opinion and have it not align with what I want,
right?
Which I'll get to in a moment.
Yes.
But I can still admit that I have biases. Like, for example, I really don't want to watch another damn Patriots Super Bowl, but that's what we're going to do, and we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to give them the credit they deserve for being the Sith Lords of the sports universe.
What else is going on in the show?
But I was right about my Rams Super Bowl prediction.
Yes.
The Steelers not going to the Super Bowl, which was my other prediction. And then I picked the Chiefs this weekend, which outside what?
No, you picked the Chiefs.
Yeah, outside of a D Ford penalty.
I can't do what I usually do. D Ford, why no one's, I feel like people are talking, but I don't know if they're. Here's the problem. Tony Romo is such an offensive-minded person, and everyone's talking about Tony Romo, and we'll get to his call, but he's so offensive-minded that I don't think enough time was spent on that D Ford call. That changed the game with a minute and 1 second left to go.
I'm trying to spare him, I guess. Yes, but it maybe was the biggest brain fart in the history of Kansas City Chiefs organization. It sucks. Like it
didn't have to be called. Talk about call. I don't want to get to the referee thing, but anyways,
we're gonna get to the referees.
And basically, let me just say, the Chiefs were not supplying a rush at all. The fact that Tom Brady has not been sacked all playoffs is insane.
Right.
D Ford was like, okay, I'm about to get to Tom Brady on this snap. And he lined up both sides in the neutral zone. It happens all the time. The best, you live and die by your stars in the playoffs. I thought Patrick Mahomes was going to be one of the guys that was the reason why the Chiefs didn't win.
It's not who makes the big play at the end, it's who doesn't up.
In the playoffs especially.
Well, yes, of course. And that's kind of what happened in that spot. Because we want to talk about the overtime and Mahomes like getting the ball back, and we can talk about them being terrible in the first half. But like the game was over on that play. And they were going to the Super Bowl. And look, the penalties and overtime are the biggest conversations about those two games. But we can start with the Rams and Saints since they were the first game of the day. And obviously, everyone is talking about that penalty, that pass interference penalty. Man. And look, he got blown up. Like it was clearly pass interference. It was the most blatant, obvious pass interference call maybe in the history of the NFL. And that's why everyone's freaking out. Like had it been a bang play, no one would be freaking out because you felt like it could go either way. But he hit him so early.
Okay, so you just said the truest thing I've heard about this, because a lot of people are saying worst call in NFL history, and like that may be the case, but you got a lot of footage to work. That was definitely, no question, the most blatant pass interference play that most of us have ever seen.
Well, I'm sure we can pull up some other
pass interference play,
examples,
blatant pass interference play.
It was so obvious, and the ref is standing right there, and it did change the course of the game. And look, like you still had an opportunity to go win, still had overtime after that. And I'm of the opinion that if you are a great team, you gotta come back together and make it happen. That's kind of what happened. I mean, LeBron James and J.R. Smith. Like that situation in game one. Like you still had an opportunity to win that game. Like, yes, he did ruin the situation. It was an all-time brain fart, but you still could have just take a deep breath, bring everyone together, forget what just happened. Just forget it. Don't even mention it. It didn't happen. We have to win the game. Like that's something that has to happen. And
the Rams did that. In a weird way, the Rams did that.
Look, the Rams looked like a fucking disaster at the beginning of that game. I thought it was going to be a blowout. I was very nervous for my pick, which is really the only thing that I cared about.
Woo!
And
the crowd noise.
It was incredibly loud. Everyone's mad at the whistle monster. I did not hear the whistle monster.
I was listening.
I don't
for
know
the
if maybe
whistle.
my ears don't pick up that tone or something, but it did not. Everyone was freaking out about it. Maybe I'm just like superiorly made. I didn't hear it.
Reverse dog ears. Yeah. I saw it, but it didn't affect me as I was watching the game.
It did not bother me. So maybe we're both just elite. I don't know, but it was not a problem for me.
I'm sorry.
Sorry to everyone else who got annoyed by it, but New Orleans just really fell apart after. Like they did not do what they needed to do. Like you have that lead, like 13 points. Keep some of that lead. All right, just keep some of it. Control the game. And this is why I picked the Rams, because I did not. New Orleans offense was not looking the way it was looking for the first half of the regular season.
Pedestrian, some would say.
Sure, whatever that means. Just they needed to be better. All right, they went from averaging 37 points in a game to 19. Like it's a clear and obvious drop off.
Big difference.
All right, that is. It is a big difference. Yes, and the Rams were awesome. And then they're gonna have to go on the road and play in a dome, albeit a loud dome, and it looked bad at first, but Sean McVay and Jared Goff made it happen. Like I understand it's a bad penalty. There were bad penalties all game. Like there was a face mask missed by Jared Goff, like in the red zone, and I get it. Like I understand why Saints fans are upset. I would be furious. I'd be out of my mind. It really comes down to this for me. Why doesn't the NFL just put out a statement? Is it really that hard? Is it really that hard?
The reason why I am on the side of I don't think they should or need to is every football player who has ever played football at any level, their legacy and how they played was dictated on a call at some point in time that was subjective. So subjective calling is a part of football. Refs interject themselves into games, NFL games, more than they do any other sport because they're on the mic. There's an ego thing there.
Sure.
And it's just a part of the game. So there's no need to be an apology because it'll be like them playing apologies like, sorry, Roby Coleman or whatever dude name blew up him so hard. Like, yeah, we need to tell people not to hit as hard. Like, that's what they've been doing.
No, it's not about the hit, though. And it's not an opinion play. Like everyone knows and has admitted that was an obvious pass interference. It's the most obvious pass interference in the history of pass interference. There's nothing else to it. He blew him up.
So, but what is the NFL giving a statement do? What does that do?
Here's the thing. It's just like in a relationship, right? If you do something, even if you're not responsible for what went wrong,
Mistrust,
just apologize. Even if you had no control of the situation, had nothing to do with you, there was nothing in your life you could have done to prevent it from happening. If they're upset, just apologize. Okay? It just makes people feel better. It just makes people feel heard.
Football fans don't need to feel better about the outcome of a game when everyone else already agrees on it. Like, that's what this is.
And here's what else it does. From there is all. Here's what else it does. Okay, the Saints fans don't care about that though. And here's what else it does. I bet they're
watching like, yeah. They're gonna be in the comments. Yeah, Joy Wright. Yeah. Apologize. Like what? Why?
Because it's gonna make them feel better. Not even feel better. It's just gonna make people feel heard. People just want to be heard. Okay.
Understood. Yes.
And more importantly, they got it wrong. And it's not one of those things where like, well, the receiver didn't push him first. There's nothing else to it.
You, every snap of every football game, they could call a play,
course they
a
could,
flag,
which is why there's no reason to change to put pass interference in replay. Please don't do that. It is my absolute nightmare. Yeah. Please do not do that. It would slow down the game. The games would be 17 hours. It would be exhausting. It would be impossible.
Yeah.
The only way to even possibly do that would be you have one pass interference challenge per game, period. First and second half.
Yeah. The things that can change. If you guys want that, you want every quarter of football to be as long as that fourth quarter was with the Chiefs and the Patriots.
Okay,
like,
but
that's what you want. If you want that.
And even if you did change that, why not change the offsides calls? Why not make that challengeable? Why not make holding calls or face mask calls or horse collar? Like those are also egregious calls that could change the course of the game. Like you can't start replaying these kind of penalties because, like you said, they're on every single play. The refs can't watch every player. They're going to miss stuff. They're human. It's part of the game. It is, as Sean McVay said, an imperfect game. Right. That situation, though, is unique. It definitely affected the game. I totally get it that they had the overtime to go and win it. They didn't make it happen. There was why would you throw the ball in that spot? Why not just run the clock down? Like there's so many things there. I just get where Saints fans are coming from. You're not going to win that lawsuit though, however, so just drop that. I understand it hurts. We're not changing the pass interference rules. It's not happening. I feel you. I understand you. I hear you, and I think the NFL should just apologize. That's all there is to it. And as far as the Rams go, I am the biggest Rams fan humanly imaginable. I am all aboard bandwagon. What do they do? What's the Rams?
Rams
Rams
up.
thing?
Oh,
Go
Ram
Rams,
up.
go!
No, it's Ram. It's like I went to 3
Horsey!
Rams games this year. Stop! Don't do that. It's
Wait, the thing curve goes this way.
Ram up. That is it. That's
Like we're in LA now or something.
you gotta give the
We
the
changed
profile.
cities. It's huge for the NFL that the Rams are in the Super
The
Bowl.
conspiracy theories of the world agree with you.
I don't think it's a conspiracy because I think that the Saints still had overtime and they still had opportunities
that's fair.
to win the game. It wasn't like the last walk-off play of the game where that
Them not being
happened.
able to run the ball isn't a
There's some
conspiracy
other things that
theories.
happened. Yeah, they could have played some defense and then there. Yes, it's huge for the NFL that's one of the LA teams that they just relocated out of the 3 California teams that they're relocating is in the Super Bowl. It's huge for this market. It's a big market. No one cares about this. It's inside baseball. I'm just saying it is huge. I'm just saying the league office they were popping Goldschlager,
Yes,
Rumplemans,
yes.
whatever they drink around there.
What's that movie?
It's certainly not expensive champagne because
Right. Yeah. That's what the Patriots do because they got the bag like that. Listen, the Rams going to the Super Bowl. I was with Colin this whole time about like it's important if you're a player you want the Rams to go Super Bowl because it proves that like you can make big moves in free agency. But what Sean McVay is doing is trying to make an NFL team build it like an NBA team because NBA teams win championships by big piece. And obviously it takes Sean McVay, an analytical football guy who actually knows football to know like we can have dog shit linebackers and have the best D-line possible and some big safeties in the DBs in the back to help us and then get to the Super Bowl. But I don't think it's going to help them win. They're not. The Rams are basically like the replacements. Like Jared Goff's like Shane Falco. Like they're running around. There's pieces. They're not going to win anything that matters. It's a moment. It's a moment
They
in
just
time.
won the NFC Championship game.
Those don't matter according to Brandon.
No, it matters. They're in the Super Bowl. Listen, for Rams up. Okay.
One house, one dream.
That's what it is?
Yeah. One house.
Woo, that's terrible.
One dream.
One house, one dream.
We don't even know how to act like
One
it.
house.
Listen.
One dream.
Let me explain.
One house. One dream.
Let me explain why the Rams going to Super Bowl is so weird for people out in LA. At Notre Dame, remember that? At Notre Dame, on the football team, there would be like the basketball team's going to the Elite Eight or the women's basketball team is in the Final Four again or a national championship again, and no one in South Bend cares because everyone cares about Notre Dame football.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on in LA right now. Everyone cares about Lonzo being injured, LeBron being injured, what the Lakers are going to do with free agency. No one cares about the Super Bowl
Well, listen,
because the Lakers are so important
here's
in
the
LA.
thing. Here's the thing. The Rams haven't been in LA for a very long time.
Yeah.
So you can make the jokes. And I know I saw the video tweeting of that random coffee bar or whatever it was where there's 4 people sitting and then
That's
like,
a normal LA sports bar.
no, it's not. There are Rams fans. I don't
right.
know. I know one Rams fan,
Right.
and he is a legitimate fan. I don't know any other
because
ones.
he lived here back in the day, probably. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only ones that live. They're literally like ARP programs for real Rams fans.
Okay, but like that's not that's not LA people's fault. They weren't here. You're supposed to be a fan of a team that doesn't exist in your city. No. Like most LA people are probably Raiders fans who are not even going to be in California anymore.
or
So
Cowboys fans.
look, I'm not going to get all crazy about. I hate the fan police. They're the most annoying people on earth. This is what I do to be a good fan. You're not there tailgating 8 hours early. Shame on you. You're not a real fan.
How are your streets still intact after winning the NFC Championship?
We burn our
game?
car after every game. Keep it real or keep it don't. I can't stand it. Okay, but this is Zaslow quote, my old radio partner. The point is, you dismiss me with it, okay?
Yes.
It's not LA, Los Angeles' fault that there's not a lot of Rams fans here. The parade will still be lit because people like to party here.
Oh, yes.
Don't know where we're gonna have it, but anyway, the point is they're in the Super Bowl and I'm Rams up. What is it? One team, one dream.
Where we're going to have it. The Rams aren't winning the
One
Super
house, one dream.
Bowl. One
I
house, one dream.
don't even understand it.
Whose house is it?
Yeah,
Rams
what
house.
Oh,
house?
that's the chant.
Whose house
that's
is
the
it?
chant. It's whose
Whose
house?
house? Rams' house?
That's what it is.
But that's not.
Whose house? YG screams it. That is what they scream during the game.
Whose house?
And
Rams' house? But that's not exclusive to
wave
the
the
Rams.
Rams terrible towels. That's what I'm saying. So now that this whose house? Rams house Coliseum, also USC's house, and whoever wants to play their house. they're now, what is it? One house, one nation? What does that mean?
One house, one dream.
One dream.
Rams up.
Dream. Let's dream of
Wait,
LA
horns
fans
up?
loving us.
Horns up or are they tusks?
Stop flexing. Yeah, no, they're made of the same thing our toenails are made of.
Disgusting.
What? That's a real Rams fan.
I can't even talk about fingernails.
Y'all
or
have
toenails.
zoo books back in the day?
I just can't
We
do
gotta
it.
go to the next
Toenails
game.
are disgusting.
Yeah.
If you want to see me instantly gag, actually, I don't know who anyone is disturbed enough to do this, but if you put a just a single clipping of a toenail or fingernail, I will maybe throw up.
Text Michelle about
It's
that.
really gross. All
Yeah,
right,
I
so
got
we
an
don't have a
issue
lot of time
with
to
that.
talk about New England and the Chiefs here, but
Yes.
basically,
Tom Brady.
I'm very tired of seeing a Patriots Super Bowl. I think I speak for everyone outside of the Boston area when I say we're goddamn tired of these Patriots. Like, I've just had enough of it. I don't want to see it. I don't care. There's nothing that interests me about the Patriots in the Super Bowl at all, which is why I'm joking about the Rams bandwagonness. I'm not a Rams fan at all, but I will be rooting hard for the Rams for multiple reasons. One, because I do like the way that they put them together, but also put the team together. But also, I'm just so tired of the Patriots. And it's not about me hating greatness. I've been very appreciative of the greatness of Tom Brady. I've been very vocal about it. He is easily the greatest quarterback of all time. Maybe the best football player of all time.
Yeah.
Although I still give the edge to Lawrence Taylor at this point. But, you know, Jerry Rice is in that conversation as well. Fine. It's
Reggie
really a
White.
matter of preference.
Yeah.
But the point is, he's great. And he cemented that for me in the Falcons Super Bowl comeback. But I just don't care anymore. I'm tired of seeing this. It's not about, like, I hate the Patriots' greatness. No, I very much appreciate this run. We will never see it again in sports. And believe me, I've had to watch all this shit for 20 years. Okay, I'm a Dolphins fan and a Steelers fan. I fucking get it. All right, I'm just tired of it, and I feel like everyone agrees with me.
Yeah, but at this point in time, I'm not rooting for them to win because obviously everything against Tom Brady or whatever I've been saying up until this point. But I feel fatigued. I feel fatigued.
Yes.
Not on Patriots fatigue, but like almost like, damn.
Like
and
what?
They're not gonna win. Like the Eagles, I thought the Eagles were meant to win the Super Bowl. And
It doesn't feel like the Rams are meant to win the Super
they're
Bowl.
built to win the Super Bowl, and they're not going to because they're just built to win it. And the Eagles were destined to do it. And now we're looking at Tom Brady about going into his 9th Super Bowl, about to win his Jordan ring, his 6th ring with Bill Belichick. So what I am hoping for is that the inevitable happens. They win. It's close. There's a kicker that makes the last play, obviously. And then at the end of the day, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady are 1 year closer to retirement.
No, I don't want them to win at all. Like it's the worst.
It's not about what we want.
It's
We
the
talked
worst
about
case
this.
scenario. No,
We wanted Patrick Mahomes to be in this game.
Right, and we'll talk about that in a second. But
Right.
I don't want them to win at all. I never want them to win again. First of all, I don't want the Patriots to have as many Super Bowls as the Steelers, so it's very important to me that they lose this game, okay, on a personal note. But more importantly, there's nothing else to talk about. Like, we get it. Tom Brady is the greatest. We get it. Bill Belichick is the greatest. We get it. Gronk still reinvents himself. Like, now he's the best blocking tight end in the league, okay? He's just an extra lineman. You just got an extra fucking lineman, okay? How is that fair?
And one that's eligible and can still make that one
we
catch.
get it. Julian Edelman.
Oh, let's
All of a
talk
sudden
about
good again.
Julian Edelman's hands because they were a key part of them
First of
winning
all,
the
it
Super Bowl.
hit his thumb. It hit his thumb. Okay?
I don't know if it hit his thumb. It may have hit that TB12 Guerrero vein that was popping out though.
Juiced up Jules.
Okay, I didn't say all that.
I didn't say
but
that either.
that was
was Prince of Privilege.
That was a nice
I
drop.
did.
I like alliteration.
The point is it hit his thumb, and we know it hit his
Yes.
thumb because immediately afterwards it hit his thumb.
I don't think it hit his thumb. I honestly don't think it hit. I think it hit his shoulder possibly. I think we need to look at more angles of what it possibly hit. And also, love the advanced muff punt, even though everyone knows you can't do that. I just love it because it's just the thrill of the game.
All right.
You know,
Well,
picking that
more
ball up.
importantly, the Chiefs had just an abysmal start to the game. I know you always defer, but I feel like you put your best unit on the field. I know it's edgy to take the ball first, okay? But just, you got to come out there with some energy.
Hot
all
hand.
right?
Their defense feels like they've been the hot thing.
No,
Maybe that.
No, not hot hand. The offense is what got you there.
Yeah.
Mahomes is in his first AFC Championship game. You need to get him out there, make him feel confident, get the offense going. He looked very uncharacteristic. He's overthrowing. First down, what are you doing? It's 3 and outs galore.
Patrick Mahomes threw his first pass with 5 minutes left in the first quarter. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, it's a disaster. Like, you get all this hype, this energy, and then he just sits on the sideline for almost the entire first quarter.
but when he gets out there, like the number, They are that good, though. I heard someone say it's like the Warriors. Like, Patrick Mahomes in that offense is good enough to go out there. And that's why every time they're on defense, the Chiefs are on defense, I was thinking like I did as a Notre Dame player when it was like, you just got to let them score. You just got to let the other team score so you can get the ball back because they're going to score. Like, we played with Stanford, Toby Gerhart at running back and Andrew Luck at quarterback. It's like, they're going to score. Let them score so we can get our trash defense off of the field so we can put the ball in the hands of our quarterback.
Or you could just get the ball
MVP
at first.
quarterback.
You could just get the ball at first.
That's true.
You could just do that. You have that. You had that option. I know it's like everyone always defers. Like, you have the option. You won.
So
like,
this is on Andy Reid by you?
No,
think so?
I don't think it's on Andy Reid. And I really don't think it's on the defense. I think it's a miracle that they were only down by 14 points.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even blame this on the defense at all. I don't even blame it on D Ford. Like, I feel like you have to go out there and do what you've done all year. You know Bill Belichick is going to take Tyreek Hill out of the game. You fucking know that.
Yeah.
I've never game planned for a game in my entire life. I know it's shocking, but the word on the street is Bill Belichick takes away your biggest weapon every time.
Yeah.
It's not a secret.
Yeah.
It's not like spoken of in the tunnels of NFL wisdom. It's a known thing. So why don't you just throw it to Travis Kelce? Why don't you mix it up? Like, game plan for having an option that's not, just ignore Tyreek Hill for the first however many drives you have.
Travis Kelce's
Don't
first
even
catch
look
was
at
that
him.
touchdown catch.
Exactly.
Like, they didn't even get a chance to get him into a rhythm. So Patriots, they loudly shut down your biggest offensive weapon, and they quietly shut down your second. And let's not forget that the Chiefs had the third string running back. As good as Williams looked, like it was tough to go into. Patrick Mahomes was so special all year long that people went in thinking the Chiefs were going to win that game, and then afterwards you're like, wait a minute. Why did I think that?
Incredible in the fourth quarter. That's the point. He got, once they got it together, they were who we thought they were. They had an opportunity to come back. He was incredible in the fourth quarter, in the clutch, and they made it to overtime. So however much the Patriots dominated that game, they were in overtime. So we didn't have an opportunity to see them in overtime, which is disappointing, which we'll get to later. But the point of the matter is, bottom line, I don't blame Andy Reid. I really don't blame Mahomes. I don't blame the defense. I just feel like they needed an extra piece to get them over the edge. They made some game plan errors, and I think not having Mahomes out there first, in worrying about Tyreek Hill, in obviously D Ford, there's things that they did there that had they not done, they would be in the Super Bowl right now. So it's not like it was some catastrophe. I think they'll be there next year. Mahomes is still MVP. The Patriots are just who the Patriots are. They don't make mistakes in the clutch, and Tom Brady is surgical.
What do you think Tom Brady said to Patrick Mahomes after the game?
I mean, I think that's genuine. I think he really respects Mahomes.
Yeah, of course.
And I think he said something nice to him, like, keep your head up. It's it's the beginning of your career. You're going to be here again. Like, a lot of respect. Good game. I don't know, some remix of that, some Tom Brady-esque version of that.
Some remix. No,
Fair?
I don't know what I was looking for, but the fact everyone knows that Patrick Mahomes is next up, and we knew that we were going to see some type of journey in this, but it feels right now that we're going to be talking like this about Sean McVay in 3 weeks. It was like, he's next. They're going to be the next thing. But right now it's Patriots and the Belichicks and the Brady's.
I was a huge Chiefs fan this weekend. I'm very upset that I have to watch the Patriots. I was very excited for the Larry Bird, Magic Johnson Super Bowl of Goff and Mahomes. It would have been super fun. No, I'm not just saying that because my shirt is awesome today.
You sure? I was going to talk to you about Larry Bird.
That's really what it came down to. They'll be back there next year. They just fired Bob Sutton.
Yes.
So they fired the Chiefs fired their defensive coordinator.
Yep.
So they're already on the making changes train. So awesome season. Holmes was great. Was perfect in the clutch when he needed to be.
Brady hasn't been sacked once.
That's really what it comes down to. Everything
that is insane.
Everything else we said was important, but the fact that Brady was never touched except for that phantom roughing the passer call, which was super annoying. You have to get pressure on Brady. You have to get pressure on Brady, and you have to assume that Belichick's going to take away your biggest piece. Those two things are facts when you play the Patriots in the postseason. And whatever you have to do, if you just got to sell out and take a roughing the passer penalty, or you got to take an offsides penalty and smack his ass, that's what you got to do.
That's what he did, but it was at the wrong time.
Yeah, not the time you want to do it.
Yeah.
Not the time when you do it.
D4 was thinking the same thing.
Maybe try that in the first half, okay? But you got to get pressure on Brady.
So if you look at all the Super Bowls, the 3 Super Bowls that Tom Brady has lost when he's been there, 2 Giants, Eagles, look at that roster across and look at that D-line. an elite D line can beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl and in the playoffs. But based on what we've seen from the Patriots, I don't know that even the Aaron Donalds and the Ndamukong Suhs and the Dante Fowlers of the world can get to him.
Well, listen, Sean McVay, if you're listening, which we know all the Rams watch this
and sorry about
podcast
all
every
the
week.
slander, but you deserve it.
Yeah. No, I didn't slander Sean McVay. Please,
Rams
if
Nation.
you happen to get into a spot where Tom Brady has not been touched towards the end of the first half, just tell someone to jump over the line. It's important.
Yes.
That's just a note. That's free.
See if they call that one.
Free game.
Yes. And drive him to the ground like Clay
yeah.
Matthews and all that other stuff. He'll be fine. He's durable.
He's yeah. That's what he does all the yoga for.
That's what he is durable.
Right. He doesn't eat strawberries for that purpose.
Or tomatoes.
Yeah. Inflammation.